The Patchoulis are back, and this is a video we've been wanting to do for this one fragrance from the House of Reminiscence, a classic one from 1970 called Patchouli. This is their latest bottle, and they are now no longer affiliated with the jewelry brand, as this was a jewelry brand before, Reminiscence. But we're going to review Patchouli from this house. You own a bottle.
I do. I have the star bottle.
I have the latest bottle here, and if you want to find out about Reminiscence Patchouli, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. If this is your first time tuning into the channel and you love watching fragrance reviews, finding out about new fragrances, discovering new brands, of course, finding out about some classics like Reminiscence Patchouli, and participating in giveaways and still haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So we had featured this on a Patchouli video from your old bottle 2 years ago. We just featured this one on our Patchouli video.
We revisited Patchouli. We continued to acquire Patchouli. We didn't stop with the first video. We just kept finding more delicious Patchouli. But this one This was on both. It's really
the first one and the new one.
Yeah, it's a class. It's almost, it's like the seminal Patchouli, a seminal Patchouli. It's sort of defined the genre in a way, and it still smells really modern and really exciting and beautiful, and it's beastly enough that I'm not that close, and I just got a wave of patchouli when he sprayed it. A beautiful, delicious wave of patchouli, and it doesn't smell dated. It doesn't smell. Well, tell them about it.
I mean, this is dating back to 1970.
Right.
We can find the name of the perfumer of this one, but the guy that's behind the brand, who actually just launched his own niche line called Nino Amadeo, has a patchouli fragrance in this collection as well. We can't figure out if he's the perfumer of this one, as he's the perfumer of the fragrances in his new line. And I think because he's no longer part of Reminiscence, he's launched a new perfume collection or a perfume brand, but dates back to 1970. It's an Oriental woody. The concentration is an Eau De Toilette, but it's so strong for an Eau De Toilette it acts like a pure perfume, intense, beastly, and just a kind of patchouli that we like. Very chocolate cakey, earthy, effervescent qualities come to mind.
Rum. Alcoholic.
It's boozy. There's some boozy touches, but the notes here are patchouli, labdanum. There's a lot of ambery touches. There's tonka beans, vanilla, sandalwood, Tolu balsam, very balsamic, sandalwood, vetiver, musk. Delicious.
Which is an incredible number of ingredients for something that seems like all it is patchouli. When the experience of this fragrance is very cut and dry. It's a warm patchouli embrace. It's a mug of patchouli beverage. Well, that sounds gross, but like it's
when you said a mug, I got an idea of like hot chocolate, but scratch out the chocolate and put patchouli,
yes,
hot patchouli.
Yes, I mean
in a mug. That's what the experience is for me.
Which I recognize that doesn't sound good, but it smells great. Yeah. So in 1970, when the Reminiscence jewelry store launched, I guess, or opened in the Côte d'Azur.
South of France.
Yes. Apologies to the French.
Côte d'Azur.
Yeah. Every video just needs to have like in tiny print, like we apologize to French speakers. That would save me a lot of trouble.
I spent some time in the Côte d'Azur and I love that place.
Well, so they opened I forget her name, but Zoe and Nick, who you mentioned.
Nino Amadeo.
Nino, right. Sorry. Terrible with names. They had patchouli as one of the 3 fragrances that
they launched with.
So I also didn't find who the perfumer is listed for this, but
it could be Nino Amadeo since he's the perfumer of the new brand that he launched.
But this is really, this is like a reference. Like if you were trying to, I think, develop a new patchouli, this would be a bottle that you would have as a reference for what
patchouli should be.
Well, a classic patchouli, a recognized, like loved, widely appreciated. The only people I can think of who wouldn't like this are people who really have an aversion to patchouli. Anybody with even a liking of patchouli would. It wears great on everyone.
It smells like chocolate patchouli.
It's more gourmand on you. It's kind of more boozy on me.
I get the boozy qualities as well. I get like a rummy kind of experience with this one, like a chocolate patchouli liqueur, perhaps.
It's like if you've ever baked something that had. Sometimes you're supposed to take dried fruit and like leave it to soak in a bowl with some sort of spirit, usually rum. It has that kind of smell of. That's
Well, rum is vanillic to begin with, like a lot of rums. That's why I used to enjoy drinking rum and Coke. I haven't had it in ages because I don't drink Coke anymore. And I used to get these like vanillic qualities. You get lots of vanilla qualities with this one also, along with that boozy quality of the rum. So it is a very gourmand, boozy experience, even though you're smelling like pure patchouli, in your face patchouli.
Well, there used to be, and I didn't do my homework, but when I got my bottle with the stars, there was a vanilla, there was a tonka, an amber. I don't know if those also remain, but I thought it was such a vanillic patchouli. What was the point? I never tried the amber or the tonka because I thought.
You know, there was a time I was really obsessed with this brand, and I was like smelling everything they had. And they not only have a patchouli, they have multiple patchoulis. They actually have a patchouli pour homme that they consider this a feminine targeted fragrance, which I think.
I've seen it listed as feminine too.
I don't think it's feminine.
I don't
it's
get it.
Like a patchouli, like most. It's very unisex note to me, patchouli.
It's cuddly, but I don't think.
Patchouli is very woody to me.
Well, as previously discussed, it can be medicinal, it can be kind of gourmand, or it can be very earthy. This would be more gourmand. I know lots of guys who like gourmands, though. And
I think I would call it a gourmand, but it's not a true gourmand with gourmand notes. I think the accords that are created with a combination of these notes create like a gourmandish kind of an experience. But to me, this is more earthy.
I see it as more gourmand, but we don't agree, so that's just a thing. But it's a hug.
I mean, there's no gourmand notes except for vanilla in there. There's no chocolate mentioned.
No, that's true.
There's no rum mentioned. But I think the combination of the notes is the experience we're getting, like a gourmand experience.
I think it must be the tonka. There must be some aspect of that's giving it the dimension that
it could be
these unlisted notes that we're smelling that are suggested but not listed.
But look at this. They have Labdanum, which goes very ambery. They have Tonka beans, which is nutty, kind of almondy, kind of woody experience. They have Tolu, which is a balsam. So all of those notes, along with the patchouli, is just creating these like gourmandy qualities, which we really love, and you love too. Obviously, you can't admit to it, but you do love it.
There's a small window into gourmand that I love and accept and embrace, and this is it. This is exactly where it is. This is every time you move, I get this like small wave of patchouli, and it's really delightful.
What I was going to say was I was getting to the idea that there are not only this patchouli, which is targeted to women according to the brand, there is a patchouli pour homme, which is less patchouli to me, but still patchouli. It's more of a lighter patchouli experience. There's also multiple flankers to the patchouli as well. There's a rose, there's a few others. So it's a house to explore with their various creations, lots of different fragrances. They're a little pricey, and we looked up prices for this. At the discounters, I found prices anywhere from about $60 to $100, depending on the size, 50 to 100 ml.
There's a 200 ml too, apparently.
There is?
I saw one listed for $100 somewhere.
Wow.
I couldn't find a retailer because Beauty Habit used to carry it. I haven't seen it at Beauty Habit in a really long time.
Is it because the brand's parent company changed?
Maybe. I mean, maybe it's also part of the rebranding because I did buy, I think, the star bottle that I have from there. And they just have some of the florals from the line up on their site, like a tuberose and a rose.
So it is still at Beauty Habit?
Well, those are, but I haven't seen...
Maybe it's coming back. We shall see.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, I like the new bottles too. I don't like the stars, personally.
I love the stars.
You do?
I do. These, I think...
it's a little more classier bottle, as you can see. A little more masculine to me.
So if there was a narrative for this, it actually wouldn't have anything to do with baking. It's somebody very elegant. Somebody who's kind of sweeps into a room and like the party comes to life. I feel like it's somebody who's very like mwah mwah and how are you, and it's not like party girl like in a ditzy way. It's sort of like, but the party's here now. If that do you kind of get that vibe from it? Like it's very very bling in a way, but not in like a rave or like bottle service kind of night of drinking, more like in a party at somebody's house, but like a nice house with nice jewelry and nice carpets or whatever, rugs. I don't know if I'm making very much sense, but like I would love to go to that party. This is a very
I think for me, this fragrance and a lot of fragrances like this, like psychedelic, we really love.
I do love that.
And a few others that are very similar. Are fragrances I like to wear that leave a trail. This is what I like about patchouli. The trail is the sexiest thing ever. Not only do I like it when I leave the trail, I like it when other people leave this patchouli trail. It's just very intoxicating, and my nose and my head goes like, oh my god, I'm waking up to this really beautiful smell, and I want to follow it. I don't know if that's what happens to you.
Yeah, but that could be also like the life of the party, like, okay, now we're here. I think, because I also have Patch Flash from Andy Tower, which is a boozy patchouli. That one is maybe, if the unisex line is here, that one might be just masculine, and this one, if the unisex line is here, might be feminine, like just a little bit. And maybe it's the amber and the vanilla. But
comparing this to the Tower, I mean, I think I compare this more with the psychedelic because it's very similar to that. I think they have
if we did all three of those together, it's like they all have that kind of gourmandy touch, but they all have a boozy something, and they all have like that sort of, wow, who just got in? Like, what? Who?
Yeah,
where?
yeah, exactly.
Little, it's not rock and roll exactly, but it's like it's got presence. That's what it is. That's what it is. Presence.
Presence. It is presence.
Yeah. So now you can forget that whole narrative about the party and just presence. And not gifts, but presence.
But comparing this and the psychedelic to the Patch Flash, I don't get the cakey chocolatey effect from Patch Flash. I do get the boozy effect,
right?
But not the cakey chocolatey effect. Where I get it from here, patchouli from Reminiscence, and also psychedelic.
Okay, I mean I could disagree, but I'm not going. You're right. It's more of like a boozy sort of, like if those three are in a house, maybe like the Patch Flash is in the den, like the wood paneled library with like a brandy snifter and maybe like a pipe that's not being smoked, just clamped between somebody's teeth for dramatic effect. And this might be in the kitchen. So yes.
Kitchen?
Not but very glamorously though.
Okay.
Not cooking, just sort of being fabulous.
All right. What kind of longevity do you get with the
all day?
Reminiscence?
All day. Yeah. If I were to not shower, it would still be there.
Wow. So it is cakey. The
Ew.
cake's on.
Ew.
Wait, what?
Ew.
What does that mean?
Not cakey like crusted. I mean.
Well, I keep saying it's chocolate cakey.
Right.
So
that's honestly.
I was referring to caked on.
I know.
Like you know how you make cake on makeup?
Hopefully I didn't do that. Hopefully I had some restraint when I got dressed today.
But that's what I'm referring to.
Yes.
So it lasts.
It does.
Yeah, it's got great longevity.
And you've been wearing it though too, right?
Yeah, patchouli always lasts on me, especially this like cakey, chocolate cakey patchoulis. Amazing stuff.
It doesn't go sweet on me. It doesn't go in that direction of like some fragrances. As they wear, like parts will lift off and lighten or change. This stays the same sort of patchouli embrace from start to finish, but it doesn't. I mean, I've always showered before it was gone.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, we love this one. If you guys haven't heard about it, I'm sure you have on the channel. But if you haven't and you like this dark, earthy, chocolate cakey patchouli, Reminiscence patchouli, all the way from 1970, and it's still good today.
It grows on you. Even if you think, oh, patchouli's okay, this is one that kind of haunts you until you get it out and wear it again.
Yeah, sometimes I crave Coca-Cola, even though I stay away from it. This is kind of like that craving. If I haven't smelled it for a long time, I need it in my life.
Yeah.
I want it in my life. I want to smell it. It's addicting. It's really, really good. Anyway, Reminiscence Patchouli, all the way from 1970. Guys, are you familiar with this house? Are you familiar with Reminiscence Patchouli? Let us know. Put some comments down so that we can find out. If you have any questions or comments, also please list below. Please subscribe if you haven't. There's a subscribe button right here. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.